When I was a kid growing up, I was introduced to this story at a youth group church thing that we went to. My dad was a minister when I was growing up, and it was the story of Delilah and Samson. Samson was this guy, if you're not familiar with that story, who was really strong, and he had like this one spiritual thing where he had to grow his hair long. And if he cut his hair, then he would lose his super strength. And so one day he meets Delilah, who was like a local, sexy lady, and she kind of got Samson to, you know, come and engage in some kind of sexual activity or something. But in the process of doing that, Samson kind of got distracted from his own values and beliefs and his own principles, right? He kind of gave in and started doing things the way Delilah was doing it. And at one point, Delilah was able to cut Samson's hair. And when that happened, Samson lost all of his strength. And he then was taken into captivity. He became a prisoner and had his eyes gouged out and was chained up to two pillars, right? So, what's my point? What's the moral of that story that I want you to think about? Right now, humanity, all around the world, people all around the world on planet Earth, are like Samson. They are awakening. Humanity is awakening to its inner strength, to its empowerment, the power inside that we each have to influence our world, the world around us, right? So, what's the danger? There's a Delilah. There's a force, right? And it isn't a sexy lady. It's coming at you in the form of media, in the form of propaganda, in the form of peer pressure, in the form of conformity to groupthink, right? That pressure put on you by your peers to think the way everyone else thinks, or else you'll be ostracized from the group, or else you'll be taken away by the thought police, right? That's the danger that humanity is facing right now on all sides of the political arena, socially, culturally. Samson is under attack. And we need Samson, that's you, and all the people around us, to retain our inner strength. And now, what is that inner strength? The inner strength that we each have is our ability to be self-directed and to think freely, right? If you watch Star Trek, you're familiar with the Borg. Resistance is futile, they used to say. The Borg is a hive mind where all the different individual members are exactly the same. They're all clones, sort of like copies. They all think the same thing. In a hive, right, everybody gets the same message. If I think, I like strawberry jam, so doesn't the rest of the hive today. So we want you to be individuals and have your own likes and your own dislikes. And that requires that you maintain freedom of thought, critical thinking skills, the ability to critically reflect on claims that are brought to you about reality. We need you to be willing to check and see if those claims are accurate, to check in and research and investigate to see if the claims that you're reading and you're seeing on the news and that your friends and family are telling you, are those claims grounded or anchored to truth, evidence? That's what I mean by truth. Evidence, right? Supporting evidence. Sean is wearing a fall type jacket that looks kind of bluish, purplish, navy, whatever. Correct. That's a claim that is based on evidence, supporting evidence. Don't let anybody take away your ability to be a critical thinker, because you might end up like Samson and be in a situation where you're put into bondage. moving toward our best self and our best life. I've been quiet about a lot of these things that I'm seeing in the world and the media because I'm more of an educator kind of guy. But I want you to know that there is a real version of good in the world, and there is a real form of evil. And human beings are caught in the middle of it right now. So let's break through this collective stuckness. Don't be villainous. Don't be enabling. Be facilitative. We want to facilitate empowerment for ourselves and for others. If we can facilitate positive personal growth in ourselves and others, character development, improve the situation, life will get better, and the world can know peace, right? So I hope that we can do that. I wish you guys the best. Be someone who protects your self-directedness, your inner power. Don't be like Samson. Don't be led astray. Don't let somebody take away your strength. It's the only thing that's going to preserve you. Love ya. Take care.